Hey, welcome back to the homestead. So it's May 12th, 2020, and I think maybe we made it through what we've just been through. Anybody in growing zones 5, 6, or 7, May of 2020 know exactly what I'm talking about. It's been a rough May for gardening. But I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. So here's the last part of April, first part of May 2020. So the 26th of April, we had 52 during the day and 43 at night, and 60 on the 27th, 66 on the 28th. And the 29th, we had 74. And then we went into May, and boy, everything went bad. May 1st, overnight low was 43 and then 41. The 3rd was 60 overnight, wasn't bad. Then we went 44, 37, 39, 32, 30, 28, 33 on May 10th, 37 on May 11th, which was yesterday, last night. So today is May 12th. Tonight's overnight low is predicted 34. But after that, we're looking pretty good. 63, 75, 70, or 69, 73, and overnight lows of 45, 61, 57, 60. And it goes pretty well up from there. So I think we're over this. So they had talked about an early spring here in northeast Ohio. And as you just saw on the weather.com, we had an exceptionally warm mid-April, even late April. And they were predicting that way early in the year, so I had started a lot of my plants earlier than normal, thinking, normally our last frost is May 15th. And from all the predictions, I was thinking May 1st will end the frost and everything can be out. And it looked like that was going to be true, but that kind of went away. So, as you can see right there, I've got cucumbers that are 2 foot tall still in the pot and still under grow lights. And they're going out tomorrow because I think this is finally over. And I'll show you how I kind of won the battle. But I'll say we got 34 degrees tonight. Yeah, one more night, and then we're good. You can't beat Mother Nature. You can't. But sometimes I think if she sees you trying hard enough, she'll let you win. And I think maybe that's what happened. She let me win. I'll show you the raised beds and the roost out gardens here in a second. Studley Dudley here just insisted on saying good morning. These are my Buff Orpingtons. They were actually 4 months old yesterday. So, not quite laying yet, but it won't be too much longer. Buff Orpingtons lay a little earlier than most. So, morning girls. Alright, so back to the gardens. So here's my raised bed gardens. And you can see I got the tarp pulled back so everything can get a little sunshine this morning. This is the first the sun's been out in 4 days. And as you can see, I had a space heater in there. So at night, when it was 30 degrees and 21 degrees and 28 degrees and all the crap we've had, it was toasty in there. I had the tomatoes and the peppers in, probably about May 8th, 7th. And it was right after I got them in that they started predicting all this stuff coming. So I ran to Ollie's, and for $19.99 I bought this 18 by 20 foot tarp. And I'll show you a picture of it the way I had it all covered. And I'll cover it again tonight and run the heater again tonight. One more night, and then we should be through it. So these are the little herb gardens that I built for my wife. Two of them. They'll sit right there in front of that, and these buckets here are going to have marigolds in them. In the garden, I've got cauliflower doing real well, turnips doing real well, onions doing real well. Broccoli back there, it kind of took a beating. When I had those covers over them, they got to be to the place they were getting kind of big, and every time I put the cover down at night, they were kind of getting, branches broke off, and they took a pretty good beating, but they're coming along. That one there in front kind of got froze off, but I got more broccoli I'll be putting in, so that'll produce something, and then there'll be a lot more coming. So anyway, on this side, I got the tomatoes, 4 tomato plants. There's 2 Beef Masters, 1 Tiffin Mennonite, and 1 Chadwick Cherry there in the corner. I got lettuce coming here pretty good. The carrots are just starting to peek up through. When they get a little higher, I'll put some leaf mold around here and cover that cardboard. They're just starting to come up through there. And spinach just coming up there on the other end. But it's been awful cold and everything's been pretty sort of dormant. There's a carrot coming up. And these are all just starting. So here's the roost out gardens. This whole patch is potatoes. And the row closest to us is a row of red potatoes, and then there's a row of white potatoes on the other side. And the red potatoes were all up and looking great. And now you can see the frosted off remnants there. They really got froze. They got froze solid. They took a hard freeze. But they'll be back up. I know they will. And the white potatoes hadn't really, I put them in about a week and a half after the red potatoes. So they hadn't started to come up yet, but they're due to start popping up out of there too. So I think everything will be okay. So there's the row covers that I was using on the raised beds when the plants were a lot smaller, and I could cover them. And then it got to the place they just wouldn't fit under there anymore. And when I put the tomatoes in, I couldn't use these anymore. So I brought them down here and put them here, and got that tarp for the raised beds. So under that one is cauliflower. Under that one is more onions. Under that one is more broccoli. And then down there where the black plastic is, I actually really messed up there, and that might have been a big mistake. We'll see if it makes it or not. But it had been so warm, and I still was thinking it was going to stay warm and be good. I planted 5 rows of corn in there, and it never germinated yet. When all this freeze came along, I put the black plastic over it, thinking it would help warm when it is sunny, the little bit of sun we've had. The black plastic will warm the ground and maybe germinate the seeds, and that might come up under there, and tomorrow I'll get the plastic off of it. That might germinate the seeds and save them if it keeps the ground warm enough, or the seeds may have rotted under there. Time will tell, but plenty early enough to replant if I have to. And I will. On this trellis, there'll be pole beans on that side, and I've got summer squash and winter squash that'll go on the other side right here and climb the trellis. On this trellis there will be where the cucumbers will go. other side of that trellis, there'll be cabbage over there, and probably more broccoli and cauliflower in here to replace some of these that aren't doing real well, but they're not doing too bad. You can see through the cover, there's broccoli coming along pretty good under there. Onions under here, they weren't covered, and they're doing fine, but they're behind the other ones because they stayed out in the cold a good bit. But they're coming along just fine. They'll be all right. I think that's about it. So far everything I think has survived. Hopefully the potatoes will be back. Well, I hope your plants made it. If they didn't, it's early. You can start over. I might be doing that with the corn. We'll see. But that's what Mother Nature does. And that's, I guess, part of the fun of it, huh? Hey, happy gardening. I hope your plants do well. If you lost anything, don't be discouraged. Just start again. We'll get through this. Summer's coming. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. If you enjoy the videos, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next video. I'm out of here.